You are watching Co-op for Two. It's Sunday night, about midnight, Monday morning. You're joining me, the two of you who are watching this, for an unannounced quick little live stream playthrough of one of these boxes of Deckscape. I've been threatening to do more videos without any advance notice. I think there's something fun about that. So here we are. Let's check in with the chat and see if anyone wants to admit that they're here. Look at this black chat screen. That's, even for me, that's a little unusual. It's okay. You don't have to feel any pressure to speak up. So Deckscape. We've played a lot of little escape room puzzle games, small box games on the channel. Undo, Unlock, the exit games, 50 Clues, Detective. But for some reason, we've never gotten around to Deckscape. I've got 5 in front of me. I've never played one. I'm not sure why. The first one they released is this one right here, Test Time. This is from 2018. It looks like someone has rewrapped it or something. They're totally self-contained, no internet required. And I believe they're still making them, although I wouldn't swear on that. They must have slowed down, though. I think there are probably maybe 10 of these. And so a whole bunch in 2018, 2019, and then maybe they started slowing down, but I don't know if they're still making them. So we're going to pick one of these to play. I suppose if there was an audience here like normal, we would have a little bit of a vote on which one to play. Only giving you a couple minutes notice though. But honestly, I am more interested in either playing the first box ever released, but I think actually the one I'm most interested in is this one. I have unwrapped this one, but never taken out of its inner box just to take a look at what's inside. But I think, unless anyone wants to speak up and say that they've played one of these and not the other, that might sway me. If not, I think we'll play The Mystery of El Dorado. Now, I'm not sure what to expect here. Are they all written by the same person, the same pair? The credit on this box says Martino Cicacera and Silvano Sorrentino. Sounds like Italians to me. That sounds like Stevie Ginocchi. That must be Italian now. Okay, so they're all Italian. Now, is it the same authors on all of these? Martino. Okay, that's a little unusual. I'm always concerned when someone's putting out multiple mystery games per year. Okay, but we're going to play this one here. Anything on the back we want to read? Okay. Deck of cards, the thrill of an escape room. Typically, an escape room means puzzles with some veneer of narrative on top of it. So here we have an estimated playtime of 1 hour. Normally, I multiply that by 3 when I play something on the channel. So somewhere in between an hour and 3 hours. Playable with a group or solo. The expedition in search of El Dorado was a failure. You have long sought the legendary Golden City in the heart of the forest without finding it. While you're flying back home, the head of a statue crashes against the plane and you have to parachute to safety. You're alone, tired and hungry, lost in an uncharted area of the forest. Danger is lurking, and you have only the few items you grab before jumping out. This could be your end or the very last chance to unravel the mystery of El Dorado. Can you survive the pitfalls of the Amazon forest and find the legendary city of El Dorado? Made in Poland. Italian game made in Poland, 60 cards and a map. Okay. Let's see what we got. Open this leaflet only when instructed to. That's a little unusual. Not just cards, but a leaflet. Okay, you're looking at this deck from the wrong side. Do not look through this deck, nor shuffle the cards. Each card shows a number from 1 to 60 in the upper left. If the card order has been altered, ask a non-playing person to reorder them. Okay, remove the deck. Flip this card. Looks like we've got a couple of stragglers have wandered in. Oops, that's not what we want. All right, let's clean up our area a little bit here. One of these days I'm going to spill this coffee all over this table. Okay. Flip this card. Deckscape, The Mystery of El Dorado, a pocket escape room game. Okay, we've got the authors and now we've got artwork. We've got credit for the English adaptation, so not originally written in English. The Maze of the Ancient Ruins has been adapted from the original labyrinth created by Patrick Merrill with permission. Copyright 1977. Proceed to the next card. Do you think we should be leaving this on top of the deck or taking them out one at a time? Okay, this deck contains a story with many puzzles to be solved in as little time as possible. I don't do that, and we just take our time. 1 to 6 players, lasts about 60 minutes. Cooperative game, you win or lose altogether as a team. Before playing, put the following things on the table: paper, pencil, and a clock to check the time. We recommend you choose a quiet place to play. Okay, we're not going to worry about the time, but we do have a clock here if we need it. Flip this card. I'm going to put this deck off screen. This game is inspired by the real escape rooms. They are a form of entertainment where a group of people are trapped inside a room or cornered in an apparently hopeless situation and try to escape within the time limit. In order to escape, the players have to solve puzzles, make smart use of the items they find, and understand the plot of the story. No foreknowledge is required to solve the puzzles. Anyone can do this. Proceed to the next card. The Legend of El Dorado. Hope is the last to die, but after years of extensive research in the Amazon forest, you have concluded that the legend of El Dorado, the mythical city built entirely of solid gold and precious jewels, is in fact just a myth. Tired and sad, you're flying over the forest aboard a small airplane headed to the nearest airport. You still cannot believe it. After years of research, you're going back home empty-handed. Suddenly, a tremendous noise interrupts your thoughts. A moment later, a giant stone boulder crashes into the airplane, penetrating the hull. You do not know if the weirdest thing is how a stone of this size managed to crash against a flying aircraft, or the fact that the stone is actually shaped like a huge crocodile head. Okay. Ding, 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 cries the alarm while the pilot screams, "Parachute now!" The plane is losing altitude very fast. You rush to put on a parachute and just in time manage to grab two useful objects. Then you jump out above the forest with your heart in your throat. Take the next 4 cards without looking at the backs. Choose only 2 of the 4 items to bring with you. Return the other 2 to the box without turning them over. Okay. So already we're seeing a little bit of a hybrid escape room puzzle game and choose your own adventure, because this is not strictly normal when we play. Sorry, let's do it this way. This is not strictly normal with an escape room puzzle game to be making choices like this. Okay, we've got an indispensable manual. If you choose this item, flip this card to look at the survival manual. Keep it, it may be helpful. Or we've got a pair of binoculars. The numbers are just the card numbers, so it's not like value or anything. We've got a pair of binoculars. If you choose this item, flip this card. A sharp machete. And some nutritious food. Okay, we get 2 of these. I mean, you're going to be dropped in the forest. A machete could come very handy to bushwhack your way through. Food to help you survive. I think we could do without food. We'll just have to make friends with the natives. So I don't think we need that one. Survival manual. That's not the same as the map. It does look like it's got a compass, though. Binoculars to help us see far away. Any thoughts here? I mean, I suppose if I thought I was going to be dropped in a forest in the jungle, I think a machete might come in handy. Binoculars, maybe we could do without. And if it's an indispensable manual, that's sort of all I need to know. It's indispensable. Maybe it'll tell us like what fruits we can eat, if we're not, what mushrooms are poisonous. So I guess I'm inclined to take these 2. I mean, we are hunting for a lost city, so binoculars would certainly help us. But they're not going to help us see a tiger. I think maybe these 2. Okay, sounds like we're all on the same page here. Machete, survival manual. Okay, I like it. The other 2 go in the box. Why is this not... There we go. All right, so we've done this action. Let's see what they have on the back. A machete is just a machete. The survival manual has some information for us. To find their way through the forest and overcome adversities, for centuries the natives have 1. Built improvised arrows along the path that lead to the most important places. Improvised arrows, that's a weird way of saying it. It sounds like they're just saying directional arrows. Placed white bowls with dried tobacco in order to illuminate dark places. Planted healing herbs with red flowers and plants that produce delicious dark blue berries everywhere. Many different tribes live in the Amazon forest, but it's rare to meet someone in so vast a territory. The so-called blue feathers are known to be very friendly. There are no reports of interaction with other tribes. Okay, blue feathers are friendly. According to the legend, El Dorado's treasure chamber door features this symbol, which means white crocodile. Okay, so this does seem very useful to us. I mean, what it says is our information. All right. So these are going to stay out in front of us. Emergency landing. You open the parachute, but it's too late. You're going to land violently against the ground. Fortunately, a strong wind pushes you against some tall trees whose canopies soften your fall. You're now immobilized in a tangle of branches and leaves. A curious monkey approaches you and steals your mobile phones. Too many emotions in such a short time, you faint. All right. In this game, there are two kinds of cards, puzzles and items. Puzzles show a picture and a question to be answered. You can freely discuss the solution. Once you all agree, you can flip the card to check if you were correct. This means you have only one chance to solve each puzzle. If you answered wrong, it counts as an error. Items are cards required to solve some puzzles. When you find an item, keep it visible on the table. Don't discard it. It could be useful more than once. And be careful. If you try to solve a puzzle when you don't have the required item, you'll be penalized double. The next card is a puzzle. Are you ready to play? Carefully read the next card. Discuss to find a common answer. Flip the card to check the solution. Okay, here is our first puzzle card. Trap. You recover your senses shortly afterwards, but you're still stuck in the branches of the trees and parachute cords. You're only able to move your arms and hands freely. How do you quickly free yourselves from the parachutes? Okay, so this is quite different to the kinds of escape room card games we've played. Most of the time, the game will have a mechanical way to answer it, like we pick a number card, or we combine some object, but this feels like an open-ended question. It doesn't know we took the machete, so surely the machete is not the only answer, if it is an answer. I'm a little bit nervous about, like, you could get yourself free by chopping this with the machete, but then would we fall and hit the ground? I don't know how high up we are. What is this? Lock symbol. We've got a little stop square symbol here. But more importantly, I don't know what the format of the answer is. Does it just want us to say something out loud? Like, do we just say, unlock the harness, and then we turn around and see if we're supposed to unlock the harness? Or is there... How do you quickly free yourselves from the parachute? It's a weird question. I mean, this seems like a lock. It seems like we should just unlock the lock. But is that the answer? We're just supposed to say, unlock the buckles marked with the lock sign? It's kind of weird. In all fairness, this one isn't really a lock. Like, this one has the loop of a lock. This one just has a square on it. It's a little weird. But I guess I would say unlock this one and then this one second if this one doesn't do it. Okay. Shall we just flip it and see? Maybe this is meant to teach us how this works. You can free yourselves in two ways: by pressing the button on the bottom showing the symbol of the open padlock that releases the parachute, or simply cutting the ropes with the machete. That puzzle wasn't very hard. However, even the best might fail sometimes. Okay, so it looks like it was actually saying that this top one wouldn't have counted. If we said just push this, that wouldn't have counted. We didn't though. We said push this, then this. But that is a little bit weird. I did note that this wasn't a closed lock, but I guess we were supposed to figure out that that was an open lock. I don't love that. And the machete would have also counted. Okay, each time you give an incomplete or wrong answer, you made an error. If you have played other games in the Deckscape series, beware in this adventure the errors are scored differently. If your score is wrong, mark a Z on the score sheet. It's on the next card. Okay, so they're giving us a little score sheet. Whenever you make an error, mark a Z on the score sheet. In such cases, carefully follow the instructions to proceed in the correct way. To remove Z's, make sure you eat, drink, and rest whenever you have the chance. Beware, you can never have more than 2 Z's. Whenever you should mark the third Z, you instead suffer an injury. Mark an X on the black line. Do not erase the 2 Z's. Unlike Z's, there are not many ways to delete an X when you've marked it. Okay, errors get you a Z, 2 Z's get you an injury. Sorry, 3 Z's get you an injury. Flip this card to look at the score sheet. Keep it for the whole game. It will be essential. Okay, hours. Faster you complete the game, the better your score. We're not going to worry about that. Whenever you're told, mark a Z. If both boxes are marked, instead mark an X on this black line. So we're going to get Z's in here, and then we get X's, and then there's going to be a way to erase the Z's. Okay, that's fine. We'll just use our markers for these. Okay. Put that off to the side. Welcome to the jungle. You come down from the trees and find yourselves in the middle of nowhere, in an unknown part of the forest. You have neither a radio nor your mobile phones to call for rescue. It will not be easy to stay alive, but you can do it. You look around to find a point of reference, then you split into teams in order to explore the surroundings. Separate the next 2 dark green cards, the 4 brown cards, and the rest of the deck without turning them over. So 2 cards give us the dark green deck. 14 through 17 give us a brown deck. And the rest of the cards. Okay. The cards on top of the stack show the locations you can visit, i.e. what's visible around you. Always follow the text of the card on the top of each stack. Proceed to the next card only when instructed to, or you have solved the puzzle on top. You can try to solve the puzzles on top of the various stacks simultaneously or focus all together on the same card. If you break a rule, for example, if you turn a card by mistake, put it back in place and keep playing. Now read the other visible cards. All right, so we have 3 places we can go. Maybe I'll pull these near me. Okay, 3 paths we can go on. We can explore something behind the bush. A noise coming from the bushes scares you. Flip this card if you're not afraid to find out. Well, we have a machete, so that's good. I see something else on this card. You can tell me if you see it too. On top of the hill, narrow paths lead to the top of a hill where 3 caves are located. You want to reach a cave to find something useful. You cannot bear more than 3 stings from bugs or more than 3 thorns from brambles, which is the only cave you can reach. All right, so we're just going to have to find, what have we got here? We've got cave, cave. Is that what it is? 3 caves here? Is this a cave? I mean, this looks like a cave. This looks like a cave. These are the brambles. Is this a cave here? Is that a cave in the top? I guess it is, with a hornet's nest. All right, so that's a puzzle that looks self-contained. This looks like what it said, like, don't try to do something till you have the right item. And no one has spotted what I see here. I see the blue feather here. Remember, in our survival manual, it told us about the blue feathers are known to be friendly. So I think the noise, which scares us, is nothing to be afraid of. So I think this is safe. And then this looks like where we'll be spending most of our time. So I wouldn't be surprised if these aren't like preparatory, gain some items and friends before we hit the main trail. Let's take a look at this. The dense vegetation makes it difficult to advance. But from here, you could reach the foot of a mountain, on top of which you would have a better view of the surroundings. Flip this card if you're not afraid to walk through the tall grass. Tall grass seems like where you might find snakes. What is this mark here? All right, I think we do these first. This one I feel like is safe. We also have a machete, so I would just flip this and go here. But also this seems like a puzzle we could solve. So let's just look at this for a second. 3 caves at the very top. And then the question is, for each, according to this, there's only 1 cave that we could get to where we wouldn't get more than 3 stings or more than 3 thorns. So you can see this one here. If we went up this way, we'd get 4 thorns. Here, 4 thorns to get more than 4 thorns. If we went this way, we get 1 thorn, 2 thorns. Then we could come up here, 3 fours. I don't think there's any way to get here without getting 4 thorns. That would be invalid. Here we can certainly get to with only 2 thorns, but then we would get more stings. I guess we want to balance it and get like 3 stings and 3 thorns. So 1, 2, 3 thorns. We already get, 3 stings. We would already get a thorn, so then we'd have to get down there with less than 2. I'm assuming this would get us a sting, so I'm not sure we could get to here either. But if we go this way, like this, here, I think that's the route. So 1 thorn, 2 thorn, 3 thorn, and then we walk in here, and this would be 1 sting, 2 sting, 3 sting. So I think it's the center one right here. And going this way. So 1 bush, 2 bush, 3 bush, and we're there. And 1 sting, 2 stings, and 3 stings. Okay, so I'm going to say it's the middle one. So we're going to do this first. Okay, so sure enough, there's our route. If your answer is wrong, mark a Z, unless you have a machete to clear your way. Okay, well, we have a machete, so we could have gotten this one wrong, but we didn't. In the cave, let's move these out of the way. After reaching the cave, you walk in and proceed to a cavity. All right, what have we got here? Look at this interesting thing. We're in the cave. After reaching the cave, you walk in and proceed to a cavity from which 4 tunnels lead. One of these tunnels leads to another exit. Which path do you take? All right. I mean, people have died here. So here is a question. Where are the rules about walking on these paths? Like, could we take a different path now? Or must we continue here? I think we can always go on the top pile. You can try to solve the puzzles on top of the various stacks simultaneously. Okay, so we don't have to do this cave now. We could decide that we don't have the right knowledge or equipment to do this and work on one of the others. So let's just spend a moment looking at this, and then I think we go and try to make friends with the feathers. Okay, so each path has a symbol on top. And then we've got some skulls. Leaves doesn't seem to be a pattern, a whole bunch of bats. I'm not sure what's here. What is that, like a light? There's 2 with lights. 2 that are in darkness. Seems like the symbols are the key, though. We only know one symbol, right? It's the treasure chamber. But I don't see that symbol here. Suppose we could try to zoom up here. Let's see. I think maybe we should just say that we're not ready to do this yet. So let's just say we're not ready to do this. Let's do this one. I think these are our friends, the Blue Feather Group, and we have a machete, so I'm not afraid. So I'm just going to go ahead and flip this card. There's a hidden, frightened native. He bows in front of you. He saw you coming from the sky, and he's impressed. He speaks your language because someone dressed like you taught it to him a long time ago. He seems to know the forest very well, and he says his name is Jaxer. The next card shows Jaxer, who will accompany you from now on. Accompany you on your adventure from now on. Okay. Well, we think he's pretty friendly from our survival guide, so I'm all for it. Seems like he has a spear, though, so we didn't need the machete, maybe. Set this card aside. The back shows clues for the puzzles. Read them if you want an easier game. You don't have to mark a Z to read a clue. Jaxer's help will be indispensable. So is there any penalty for taking hints? Let's take a quick look at this thing. Okay, if you want a clue, look for it here. You cannot use a mirror to help you. Okay, it's just we're allowed to take hints if we want. Nothing here seems like it's going to help us know which cave exit to go into, though, but we'll just put him on the table here. Okay, I don't see any way to make a good decision here. I mean, maybe you could say pick the cave without bones in front of it. I'm not sure that that's good logic, though. So I think maybe I'd be inclined to delay that. Do we feel good about this one, though? What is this mark on the tree? Dense vegetation. I mean, we have the machete to bushwhack, so it feels like we could do this. But I wonder if we're supposed to just be... Do you think we're supposed to just pick the cave that doesn't have bones? If you had to guess, I'd pick the cave without bones. What would be the other way to make a decision here? So our chances are that it's the bones, that it's the symbol, Or another possibility is we don't have enough to do this yet, but you could make the same case for the tall grass. The leaves. Do the leaves help us? What do the leaves tell us? I suppose you could say that the leaves seem to be going into every cave except this one. This one doesn't seem to have leaves going into it. It's got one little leaf under the skull. But what would that mean? One of these tunnels leads to another exit. Do you think that means like wind is coming from there? And that's why there are no leaves? So that would be a good bet. That seems reasonable. In fact, I think you could probably say that that's a hint. The fact that this leaf is under the skull, that's what's keeping it from blowing away. I like this theory. I think we're going to go for it. We're going to turn over this card. The fact that that skull is keeping the leaf from blowing away. You have to take the tunnel with no leaves in front of it. The leaves at the entrance were swept in by the wind, except the one which is blocked beneath the skull. This means a stream of air comes from the tunnel. Therefore, there must be an exit at the other end. The other paths are all dead ends, thus it's not convenient to explore them. Okay, so if your answer is wrong, mark a Z. Okay, no, we got that right. Let's see what we got next here. Good work, team. The bats were also focused on the other tunnels? Maybe. Walking through the tunnel, you find some graffiti on the walls and on the ground. There's a torn page where the graffiti has been copied. It must have been another explorer who visited this place before you. So we've got these Aztec. This is pretty cool. Set this card aside. The back shows clues for the puzzles. Read them if you want an easier game. Are they now additional clues? Or clues for different puzzles? Okay, a breathtaking view. You arrive at an opening on the other side of the hill. You cannot proceed further from here, but there is a beautiful view. It seems a perfect place for a picnic. You feel hungry. If you do not have the canned food, mark a Z. Okay, so that's our first mark, not due to any mistake, but because we don't have food to eat. So I'm just going to put a little marker on that card. On the side of the volcano, there is a painted figure, but from here you cannot see it very well. Oh, that's too bad. Okay, so we don't have binoculars, so we're not allowed to see what the figure is. So we just keep this, but we're not allowed to flip it over. So we have only one pile of cards that's hasn't been explored. It's among the tall grass. Flip this card if you are not afraid to walk through the tall grass. Does that mean we should be prepared to answer some question about why we're not afraid? I mean, I noticed this, but I don't know that it means anything. We have the machetes, so I guess we're just going to say we're not afraid because of the machete. Was there there were arrows, right? Improvise arrows along the path that lead to the most important places. So I suppose you could also say, do you see any arrows pointing us somewhere? I just see this. I don't know that it's an arrow though. Okay, well, let's flip this card and see what happens. A snake bites you. What the F? If you have the machete, you can discard it to avoid the bite and immediately discard this card. Otherwise, keep this rule face up on the table and apply its effect. From now on, whenever you have to mark at least one Z, mark an additional Z. I don't like that. I mean, we had to do this. This was not a mistake on our part. I guess we're going to spend our machete. We can't very well be taking double Z's every time. So I'm going to throw away our machete. All right. I don't like that. If you have a machete, you can discard it to avoid the bite and discard this card. Okay, well, we're doing that. Let's see what we got next. Climbing the mountain. There are 3 panoramic spots with the yellow totems on the top of the mountain. You would like to reach one of them. Have a look around. You're in the gray clearing on the slopes. To move from one clearing to another, it takes 5 minutes. Which is the quickest way to reach the totem? So we're in a gray clearing. So each spot is a clearing. Which is the quickest way? So it's asking for a full route. I'm not sure I really love these kinds of games, but okay. So what are we looking at here? The quickest route. I guess we don't have to know the time, but we need to know the route. We can just sort of eyeball this a little. You could go 4, 2, 3, 4. That seems pretty far. It looks like this one seems like it's the quickest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hops. My quick glance looks like that's the quickest. But let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that's further. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's all longer. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, it looks to me like it's this one right here. Is there any way it's going to be shorter than that? Surely not this way. I think it's right through here. Although, I guess, yeah, that's 3, 3. Okay, I'm going to say it's right through here. I'm going to do these a little quick and dirty just because otherwise it'll take us too long. In a game that was more serious, maybe we'd think it over a little bit more, but let's see. Okay, so I was right. That's the path. Okay, it's not happy about that. It takes about 15 minutes to get to the top. Separate the next 4. Oh, if your answer is wrong, mark or Z. Okay, our answer isn't wrong, so we don't have to mark anything. Separate the next 4 red cards, the next 19 blue cards, and the rest of the cards without turning them over. This is a weird mechanic. I don't think we've seen this before. It's not a terrible idea. Okay, so red cards go in one pile. Blue cards, 42, go in another pile. I think this is a clever little idea to give us different paths we can go on. And here we are again. These are our discards. All right, let's take a closer look. Maybe we need this for this. Red, blue, and yellow. While walking, you stop at a crossroad and stumble across a stone that rolls away. Which of the 4 roads brings you to the ruins? That's interesting. That's an interesting little puzzle. Like, clearly this came from here. But why does that tell us which of these to go? That's interesting. Okay, let's look at this one. The Searing Bridge. You come to a bridge. There's an incredible security system of manufactured crystals that focus the rays of the sun in several places. It cannot pass without getting scorched. How do you walk across the bridge unharmed? Huh. Okay. And then the two yellow rickety bridges. Two bridges cross the river. Which one is safer? We've got one with missing steps and one with skulls. Okay. Hmm. Well, that's strange. This one feels like... How do you walk the bridge unharmed? You come to a bridge, there's a security system, crystals, focusing the sun. Feels like we need some item for this, doesn't it? So I would guess that we can't do this one yet. These look more like puzzles to solve. This is the one that's got my attention. You stop at a crossroad, you stumble across a stone that rolls away. So it looks like this stone rolls here. We don't necessarily know that it's this stone. Which of the four roads brings you to the ruins? Hmm. Improvise arrows that lead to the most important places. So you might expect to see an arrow here, an improvised arrow pointing us to one of these roads. But are the stones an improvised arrow? Hmm. You stumble across a stone that rolls away. It's almost like that's a trick question, and this isn't the stone that rolled away. Like if you were just looking at this triangle, you might say, okay, there's an arrow pointing this way, the improvised arrow. It's the fact that this seems to be suggesting that this stone rolled from here, which would tell you nothing. Any thoughts from the channel? On card 43, the symbol on the left bridge matches the symbol on the tree from 18. Let me understand this. The symbol on the left bridge matches the tree. So we had that tree, and we did see the symbol, That symbol here, you're saying? 3 lines with a dot on the upper left. And where do you think it's matching? The bridge here? I don't know about that, but I do see that these bridges have different symbols. Looks like one is 2 dots and 3 lines, and the other one has 3 dots and 2 lines, or 3 dots and lots of other lines. So this one did have 1 or 2 dots and 3 lines. I see what you mean. You could say it matches this one here. How does that help us, though? When you got bit by a snake. This path looks clearer than this path. Does that mean this is a path people have used and this one isn't? Or do we need to know what these mean to know which path to choose? And if so, it feels like maybe we're not ready for that yet. I'm more inclined to think we can do this one. So if this is the stone, I think maybe, I'll tell you what, I think maybe this is a trick question and we should approach this puzzle like one of these stones is out of place. And I think what we're thinking is like, if you get rid of this stone, you get an arrow. So I think that's the way I'm going to read this. I'm going to read this as there's an extra stone that's rolled onto here that doesn't belong, and that the arrow is pointing this way. Because if that's not the case, it could be pointing this way, this way. So I'm going to say it's pointing into the upper left. Let's see. Yes, we were right. Okay, so the stone moved from the arrow. Take the road that leads to the upper left corner. The stone you kicked off was part of a pattern shaped like an arrow. The survival manual explains the natives usually indicate the direction of important locations with an arrow. If the answer is wrong, it's not, so we keep going. Okay, well done. Here we have another of the same kind of puzzle. At the end of the path, there's a small hill from which you can look at the ruins. Flip this card, take the next one from the top of the deck, place them next to each other to form the maze of the ancient ruins. Okay, 1 of 2, I see. We're not supposed to solve this now. Flip this card, so we have this little overview, and here is a close-up view of it. Oops. Shouldn't have looked at that one. It's this one. Okay. You didn't see it. That's fine. That's all that matters. All right, let's take a look at this then. 2-card map. The ancient... Really, guys? The ancient ruins. I feel like... Well, okay. Never mind. I feel like these piles underneath are kind of getting in the way. It's hard not to reveal them. You approach the ruins near the staircase to the bottom left. You can only walk on the gray tiles and on the stairs. You cannot jump, climb the walls, or overcome the snakes. Your goal is to reach the golden temple on top of the ruins. Which of the 2 entrances to the temple is the only one you can reach? So I guess we've got 2 entrances here or here, and the only question is, how do we get up to it? All right, so we're here, and we're just trying to ask if we can get, what the? Okay, so clearly we can't go there, and we can't go there, but we could go all the way up here. And we'd have to come down and go this way. And we could go, can't go up that snake, but we could come here, then we get lost. Okay, so we come down here. We go here. We go here. Then we're stuck. But we could go up, down, underneath, and here we are here. So that's our answer. And the other way to look at it is you could just go backwards from here and see that there's no way out. There's a snake. There's a snake. There's a snake. So it has to be from the right-hand side. God damn it. I really don't like this thing where that as soon as you try to access a card, it makes the other one visible. Okay, so you can reach this entrance. If your answer is wrong, fine, it's not. Okay, so now we see this one. A disappointing loot. You reach the central room hoping to find a tremendous treasures and riches. But the temple is almost empty. Rummaging around, you only find a plate decorated with the design of a green crocodile. At least it's an interesting find. Flip this card to look at the plate. Keep it. It may be useful. So we've got a crocodile plate, and here's what it looks like. All right. The plate of the green crocodile. I like it. I like the art here. And we get to keep that. And is this one also someone feeding something to a crocodile? Like, is that the crocodile that he's wearing? You got to give gifts to the crocodile? Well, we're back to 2 paths. And I'm not sure which one we're equipped to handle here. I thought they're both the same size decks, too, so... It does seem like this one is burning on the left-hand side. The right-hand side, I don't see any burning. Do you find that a little strange? Like the left hand is burning. This doesn't seem to be burning. Oh, maybe it is burning here. Both totems look the same. Any difference that would give us a clue about something? I mean, we're not going to defile these statues by trying to chop them. Oh, we don't have the machete anyway anymore. Feels like we need an item for this. On the other hand, it is odd that these beams are not touching the bridge, whereas these are. But it feels like it's too low to creep under. I'm going to think that we can't do these. We have the plate. Could we use it to block the image? It's an interesting idea. I don't see how, though. It's a plate. You think we just hold up the plate as we walk through? There's no way to do that. Like, even if you put the plate up, get to block one statue, the other statue would get you. And the beams are shooting out from different angles, so I don't see how. I don't think so. So let's focus on this one. What are we noticing here? Clearer path. Not so clear path. Broken. Non-broken. Alternating skulls. It's not just alternating skulls. In fact, it is a gap of 2, a gap of 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. There's 2 planks between every skull. There's 2 planks between every skull. What does that mean? I'd like to get a little zoomed in on those symbols at the front to see if they are dots or lines. What does it look like to you? Are those lines or dots? Like the first line has 3 dots, but what about the second one? I think it's a line. I am not sure. I am not sure. I think maybe what we'll do is we'll take our first break here. I'll see you in 8 minutes. So it feels like the bridge should be doable. The clearest difference is we've got 3 dots and 2 lines on the right and 2 dots and 3 lines on the left. It has been pointed out that that looks similar to the symbol we found on the tree, but I feel like that could go either way. First of all, I can't tell if that's 2 dots on 3 lines. Maybe it is. But is that an arrow saying this is the way, or is that a mark saying danger? So I think you could argue both ways. The other information we have is the difference in what it looks like here. Clear path, muddy path. I don't know if that means overgrown path. Hard to know. I guess the other clue we could try to use is some indication, like, are those dots and lines to be found anywhere else? I think we might have to ask that guy for a hint. Anything here that could be a hint? Anything here? Improvise arrows. I think what we're going to do is ask this guy for a hint. It said we can ask him for clues. Read them if you want an easier game. I guess I don't really want an easier game. But we don't have a better idea. Hmm. I don't have a better idea, so I'm gonna read a hint for this, and we'll see what the hints are like. So we got two places we could get hints, and it's for card 43. So let's see if they both have hints for 43. 43 yellow. So he has a hint for it. What about this one? No. Okay, so I think maybe just one. So let's go ahead and look at the hint for 43. Okay, what does it say? Those who fall die in the river. Those who fall die in the river. I mean, that's not really a good hint, is it? That's what this guy says to us about this. Those who fall die in the river. What is it trying to say? Those who fall die in the river. Okay. Well, what is that? How does that help us? I don't understand. How is that supposed to help us? If you fall, you die in the river. Okay, so don't fall. What? I don't understand how that's supposed to tell us one over the other. How is that a hint? I also don't like that this is basically a 50-50 chance. The chat, Disfeminite says, the bridge with no skulls is the trap. That is not helpful. You're gonna have to justify what you're saying. You can't just make a statement like that. I don't understand on what basis you're making any statement. I mean, I suppose if I were to look at this, I would say this one might be safer because someone has fallen here and died. That means the ones leading up to it are good. And then someone has fallen here at the end and died, meaning the ones leading up to it are good. So, but Dispaminite seems to be convinced this is telling us that the skulls would have fallen. The skulls would not be on the bridge since they would fall in the river. Those who died fall in the river. Nope, nope, nope. You cannot convince me that that makes any sense. Maybe the skulls mark the weak spots, or maybe they mark the strong spots. It doesn't. You could go either way. I don't see how you do it. Okay, I'm going to say the one on the left is safe. I don't have a good reason for it, but I don't. The chat is not doing a good job of convincing me you have any logic to it. Okay. There are some missing wood boards from the bridge on the left. It is in poor condition. You could easily fall into the water. The bridge on the right seems to be in better shape. Someone has safely walked on it to place all of those skulls. Certainly more solid. Moreover, those cannot be the skulls of fallen adventurers. If they were, the skulls would be in the river, not on the bridge. Okay, so the right-hand one was safer. That means I made a mistake. I absolutely dislike that puzzle, but we'll just live with it and put our second marker on here. I really don't see how that there's much logic in that. Sure, you could convince yourself this is logical. You could also convince yourself of completely opposite. Proceed to the next card. Okay, next card. You find the skeleton of an adventurer. It seems that he was killed by something or someone very dangerous. There goes your appetite. If you have it, discard the canned food without using it. In the pocket of the explorer, you find a very useful map. You can now look at the leaflet in the game box. As you take the map, the spirit of the forest curses you. Open the leaflet contained in the game box. You have found the map. Now flip this card. And then here's this bullshit where as soon as you flip it, you see accidentally. Cursed. Keep this card face up. At the end of the game, if this rule has not been discarded somehow, you must mark an additional injury. Okay, so we're now cursed. And this is our new card. El Dorado is located inside the volcano. There's only one real entrance to El Dorado, and it's connected to the great holy tree drawn on the map. Following paths and tunnels as explained on the back of the map, which is the real entrance to El Dorado. Okay, let's take a look at this map now. Okay. There's only one entrance to El Dorado. It is connected to the great holy tree drawn on the map. Following paths and tunnels as explained on the back of the map, which is the real entrance. And this says El Dorado is located inside the volcano. Okay, so it looks like we have one volcano. I also see our symbol here. 2 dots and 3 lines. So if we look at the dangerous path, 2 dots and 3 lines, this looks like a dangerous thing. So I'm starting to think that does mean dangerous. 2 dots and 3 lines, danger. 2 dots, 3 lines, danger. 3 dots, 2 lines, that means that's the right way to go. And so that's the right way to go. Okay. So I think that's what I'm starting to think for the symbols. Okay, so here's the volcano, and this card is asking us which of these 4 directions we're going to enter. It's connected to the great holy tree. It looks like this is the great holy tree. So we're just figuring out what path, I guess, to get here. This doesn't seem like it makes that much sense. What is this? Monday morning, I understood that to enter El Dorado, I must follow the ancient path that goes from the great holy tree to the volcano. Along the way, it is necessary to pass through underground tunnels, which can be accessed along the path. I drew the tunnels here on the side so I can fold the map to see where they lead. I'm sure these paths will take me to the entrance of El Dorado. Thursday, I found the entrance. I do not know how to unlock the door. The legend tells that in order to enter, I must look more closely at both the volcano and the spirit who lives on earth and sky. In this way, the map will show me which of the 6 drums I have to play if I have a steady hand in using the something. I must watch my back, though. The natives are hunting me down. Okay, so first thing is El Dorado. So you can see that it is suggesting that underground we can travel by these paths. So it sounds like the idea is that we're going to start here. We go, and surely we end up here and go underground. Underground. Here. We could go here. Only one way to go, unless these trees are underground too. Kind of hard to say. I guess it doesn't matter. Whatever we do it, we go onto this line. And then from this line, I suppose we could pop back up. That's going to be the puzzle, right? So we go underground here, and we're going to pop back up somewhere. From here. Suppose it sort of depends whether you think there's underground under the trees. If you don't, then clearly you're not coming in through here or here or here. You'd have to come in through here. Which would what? Be here? Which you could get to... This is a little weird. Let's take a look at this. I follow the path that goes from the holy tree to the volcano. It's necessary to pass through underground tunnels. I drew the tunnels on the sides. Okay. So we start here. We need to get here. We've only got 2 choices. We either go here or here. What's the idea with this thing? Is this supposed to be telling us that the tree is here? And we can go underground at the tree? There's no indication of entrances here. I mean, this one is right where the tree is. This one is much more ambiguous. We can get into this temple, which gets us where? Does that mean when we come out here, we can go here? And what is this nonsense? Like, what the hell is this supposed to be saying? I can't say I'm happy about this. What is this supposed to mean? Does this mean this is a dead end? And this is a dead end, and this is a dead end, and this is a dead end, but this one isn't, and this one isn't? Are we supposed to think that you can go into these trees and come up here, even then there's no entrance? And if you did come out here, you could go all the way up and around. These spatial puzzles are the least pleasant of everything I do on this channel. Okay, well, I'm going to tell you how I'm going to read this, even though I think it's completely ambiguous. I'm going to read this that says you could take the tree, you could go to this tree, and then access an underground tunnel, which seems to intersect here. And then I'm going to say that you could take this tunnel around and go to here, which brings you out to here, which brings you to here. So that's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say it's this left pointing arrow. I really find that a bit offensive in terms of puzzle. So I'm going to say left pointing arrow. I think the map is done in a different way. Okay, I'm going to pause for a second. You can see how that comment on its own. Well, okay, I'm going to pause and see if you have something actual tangible to say. Am I going on tilt so quickly for a game that's mostly super easy and then occasionally does this? Like, what? Maybe I should be slowing down and asking, how can we read this map? What's the other way to read this map? It is interesting that this sort of goes here. But then this doesn't. No. Okay. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. There's no better help. So I'm going to say it's the left arrow. Let's see what we've got. Okay. Looks like that was the wrong answer. Okay. Let's see if we can't follow this instruction here. The entrance is by the up arrow. It's the only entrance that, by folding the map several times, as indicated by these figures and as explained on the back of the map, turns out to be connected. Okay, I'm marking a bad mark, but what is this trying to say? So it wanted us to fold it once and then go like this. And then when we got to here, it wanted us to then flip this, which would let us to go here. And then it wanted us to unfold this and then go here. And then it wanted us to do what? And then it wanted us to go back and unfold this to get here. That is ridiculous. It wanted us to start and go here. So what's the theory? That when we get here, we teleport underground to here? And when we get here, we teleport underground to here? What is the... And then we teleport out of the ground at this spot? It's totally ridiculous. Underground tunnels. You have to come up with some theory for how we're going underground and coming up. Wow, do I dislike that. Okay. Let's just take a deep breath and continue. I'm already not liking this system. 6 drums. At the end of the secret trail, you find a strange door recessed into the rock. There are 6 drums next to the door. According to the notes on the map, which drums should you play in order to open the door? All right, so those symbols are on the map. Let's see if we can make sense of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 drums and 6 symbols here. So this guy is here. This guy is here. This guy is here. This guy is here. And this guy is here. Which drums to play? So it could be any number of these 6. Multiple. Some are facing left, some are facing right. Our 2 humans are facing left. The animals are facing right. We also have this. On what basis are we going to decide this? I found the entrance. I do not know how to unlock the door. We see a strange door. So this looks closer to this. I must look closely at both the volcano and the spirit who lives on the earth and sky. The volcano and the spirit. In this way, the map will show me which of the 6 drums I have to play. If I have a steady hand in using the blank. I do notice that these drum strings look a little bit like the crocodile's teeth. Not sure how that helps us, though. Could this be talking about the crocodile's plate? Volcano and the spirit who lives on earth and sky. Well, this crocodile doesn't live in the sky. Order enter, I must look more closely at the volcano and the spirit who lives in the sky. Okay, so there's the spirit that lives in the sky. And there's the volcano. All right, so how do we make sense of that? There's the spirit who lives in the earth and the sky. I think that's the bird. And then the volcano is showing some. Oh, there's the bird. I see. There's the bird, and there's the bird. And what is he doing? There's like a circle with a dot. Oh, Which drums plural? So there's the bird. There's a bird drawn on the volcano in a circle at the 3 position. There's also the spirit of the bird. Look closely, look more closely at both the volcano and the spirit who lives on earth and sky. In this way, the map will show me which of the 6 drums I have to play if I have a steady hand using the blank. I mean, if we angle him like he's angled here, he would reach this guy. And if we angle this guy, he might reach this guy. That's ridiculous. That surely can't be it. Oh. Take a look at this again. I mean, I do notice that we've got this circle with the center, circle, center, circle, center, circle, center. This one has a circle in the center in his ear. Like that, circle and center. Circle and dot. Circle, dot, and dot. All right, I'm going to try to look up hints here. 46. 46 says, use the compass on the map. That's the hint. Use the compass on the map. Use the compass on the map. Well, the nearest I can think is that it's saying when we look at the bird, we should look at the things that are at the same angle as the bird. But here he is facing this way, the bird facing this way. But if I had to guess, I'd guess it means this is the one because this is the face that's angled this way. Is this also this way? I am very unhappy with this game. I mean, here is the bird. We're looking closely at the mountain. He seems to be pointing southeast. This is pointing southeast. What the fuck direction is this one pointing? And we've got different birds not pointing southeast. I guess I'm going to say bang on this one. And if it doesn't work, also bang on this one. Wow, this is not good. All right, so now I've got to flip this over without looking at it. Let's see what nonsense this is. You must play these 3 drums. As explained on the back of the map, you must look at both the view of the drawing on the volcano and the spirit who lives on the earth and the sky. The 2 views put side by side show a circle. Its center is connected to a gray bird, which is also depicted on the map. The sticker on the compass shows the blue bird. What compass? What compass? Okay, so what this is trying to say is that we weren't supposed to be able to do this puzzle because we haven't found the compass yet. So we should have known that we have to go down this path to find the compass first. Okay, all right. I can see already that this Deckscape series is not going to get very positive marks from me. Okay. So rather than penalizing us for that, let's wait a little bit and go down the only other path there is to go down, which is this one. Apparently, we have everything we need to know to solve this. How do you walk the bridge unharmed? Totally open-ended question. Focus the rays of the sun. I guess we're gonna say that we wait until dark, or we put the plate. We use the plate to block the diamond, the crystals, or we smash the crystals. What does this game want from us? Wait until dark. The sun sets, you can walk on the bridge without being scorched. Okay. Next. You are lost. You walked for hours and you have no idea where you are. On the horizon, you can see rivers, roads, and an old tower. If you have found a map, you can try to find the point where you are. What point do you indicate on the map? All right, so all we have to do is figure out where we are on this map. A little tower with a path to the left. A river above it. But we don't know what angle it is, so it could either be like this. No, because it is right side up. I think it might be here. River to the north, one river to the south, two rivers to the south, And then a path, and then presumably maybe a third river to the south. I guess that's what I'm going to say. If it was here, I don't think that works. So I'm going to say it's here, unless there's something I'm not getting. You're close to the point marked with the here. So according to this, this is here. I don't understand what this is trying to do. Looking at the map, this is the only point from which you can see a composition of 4 branches of the river. So it was saying that to understand this, we should have imagined that we were looking like this. Well, that's pretty much what I said. I said this is this. So I'm going to count that as correct. Boy, I am not happy with this game. Okay. I'm going to consider that correct. 2 areas to explore. You keep walking to the top of a hill. You can now see a small village at a short distance, and you could reach it to ask for help. At a longer distance, beside the river, you can see the remains of your plane. Okay, flip the card. You do not have binoculars. It will be difficult to find your way. You will lose a lot of time. Mark a Z, which gives us another bad. If you do have a machete, it's easy. Erase a Z. Okay, we don't have our machete anymore. Separate the next 5 dark blue cards and the next 11 light blue cards into 2 stacks. Okay. Read the other visible cards. Okay, I do like this breaking up into stacks. All right, so we couldn't, it's going to be difficult to find our plane, but we now have 3 stacks. We have the drums that we don't know how to do. We have the village chief. These are the blue feathers. You arrive at the small village, and many curious natives approach you. Who among them is the chief? Okay, I think we know how to answer that question. And then we also have along the river, and we've got bird with maggots and some creepy honeycomb, but we also have the flowers that give you health. The path along the river is long and tough, and you're extremely hungry. Choose 1 or more of the things shown above to eat, or eat nothing if you prefer to go hungry. So if you hadn't taken the survival manual, you'd have no idea what to say, but we know the healing herbs are there. So we're going to pick the healing herbs. Oh, I guess there were multiple things here we might want. Let's take a closer look then. The healing herbs, we want to eat, right? To eat, yeah, so it's the healing herbs. Okay. The blueberries are edible but not mature. Erase a Z. It's a fish. If you have machete, you can catch a fish. Mushrooms, you don't know whether they're poisonous. Flip a card. Randomly, red flowers. The survival manual says they're healing herbs, so discard poisoned or cursed if you have one. Okay, so we have cursed. So we're going to get to throw that out. That's good. If you chose to eat something different, mark a Z. If it's worms, they're edible because the hummingbird is eating them. So you would erase an X. So we should have tried to eat the maggots, worms also. All right, I don't know how you're expected to know to do that. So nothing else happens, but we did get rid of the curse. Okay, let's do this one. The answer to this one is this. The chief has 5 feathers in his hat. So which of these people has 5 feathers? It's this woman right here. She's got 5, which is the most. So that's her. The chief of the tribe is the woman wearing 5 feathers. It's not the oldest man or woman as you might think. The drawing on the explorer's notes reveals this information. If your answer is wrong, mark a Z. If you don't have the explorer's notes, flip this card over. So I guess if you don't have the explorer's notes, you get to try again. Feed to the next card. Oh, here she is talking to us. All right. Even in the Aztec days, they were wearing low cut-off dresses to get clicks. The chief seems to give you a friendly welcome, but she says a phrase in a language you cannot understand. What does she say? I don't think we are in a position to answer this. So let's just put that aside for now and look at this other stack that we might be able to make progress on. It's our airplane. It has a secret code lock to get in and some scratches on it, which almost look like they spell Acme. There's a large pond near the river. In the center, the burning remains of your airplane are floating. You swim to the waters to reach the plane, but the door is locked. Which 4-digit combination do you type to unlock? I guess that these scratches are the answer. I mean, you could read this as a 7, this as a 3, this as a 1, but then how would you read this? Or you could read this as the pattern, which went like 1, 9, 3, 7. 1, 9, 3, 7, 1, 3, 7. It is odd that if you draw this pattern, you get 1, 9, 3, 7, and here we have a 1, a 3, and a 7. Or is there something else? If it had nothing to do with the pattern, the chat thinks it's just the number of lines. So what? Our first one is 1, 2, 3. The second one is 2, 3, 2, and then the third one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 3, 2, 4, 1, and the pattern doesn't mean anything. I just like that as an approach, but it's as good as any. I mean, if you rotate the scratches, I can make out 8, 7, 3, 1. Yeah, if you rotate them this way, you get almost 8, 7, 3, 1. But not really. I mean, that 8 is not a finished 8. Unless you're using the line of the door as the top of the 8. You can't make a puzzle like this. You can't make a puzzle like this, where there are multiple answers and none of them stand out more than another. You can't make puzzles like this, guys. You can't do it. And even if you wanted this to be 8, 7, 3, 1, you can't. That is not a 1. If you're trying to read these as numbers, that is not a 1. So I don't think we can read it that way. I think we're going to have to do it by... But then you could make that a 4 if you flipped it. It could be a 4, 4, 7, 3, 1. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say that these are allowed to be rotated in any ways. I really don't like this. Okay, so it was 4, 7, 3, 1, rotating them in any direction. That's what I said. I don't like it. I think this is a terrible puzzle. In order to remember it, the pilot scratched 4 symbols next to the keypad. They correspond to the 4 digits of the code, rotated in different ways. You managed to recover the 2 items you left on board before the crash. Take the 2 items you stored in the game box at the beginning of the game. Okay, that's fun. We got our 2 items that we didn't take. Canned food and binoculars. So the binoculars are just binoculars. The canned food, we can discard this at any time to erase up to 2 Z's. Well, we should discard that now because every time we get something at any time. Okay, I'll wait till we're going to get more wounds. And the binoculars are just waiting to be used as binoculars. Okay. So apparently the pilot is still here. And it looks like a leopard is out to get him. Inside the plane, you find a control keyboard, but almost all the keys have been ruined by fire. Through the window, you can see the pilot. He's still alive. He's being chased by a Jaguar. To scare the beast, you can shoot the signal rocket by pressing the F. Which is the F? So if that's the H and that's the I, J, K, L, M, N, O. So E, F, G, H. So the F is right there underneath the O. LMNOPQRSTUVWX. Yeah, okay. No, no, it's not. Oh, yes, it is. It's just upside down. So it's that one, which is what I said. The keypad is turned the other way around, and unlike a regular keyboard, the letters are simply arranged in alphabetical order. You shoot the last signal rocket, which scares the jaguar, who runs away. If your answer is wrong, mark a Z. If you have the machete, I guess you're just fighting away the jaguar. Okay, we got that right, awkwardly. The rescued pilot. If you save the pilot, he risked a lot, but thanks to you, he's now safe. To thank you, he gives you some blueberry muffins. You eat them right away. Erase 2 Z's or an X. So here's where we are now. I think our best bet is to use the food to get rid of the Z's and then the blueberry muffins to get rid of an X. So let's do that. We still have 1 X, 1 wound. If you've not saved the pilot, it's bitten by the jaguar, but manages to save himself by throwing some muffins to the jaguar. You help him out of the pond. The pilot explains the plane will never leave, and he's too tired to come with you. You show him the route to the village and where he will be safe. To thank you, he gives you his mobile phone, a tent, a decorated plate, and a potion, which he recovered on a previous mission. You can now discard either the poisoned or cursed card if you have one. That's too bad because we already cured those. Flip this card. You may look at the plate. Keep it. It may be useful. What the F? Now we have 2 of these crocodile plates. Plate of the green crocodile and plate of the green crocodile. 2 redundant plates. They're like knockoffs. All right, calling SOS. The pilot gave you a mobile phone to call for help, but he was in too much shock to remember how to unlock it. Which buttons do you press to unlock it? Touch the 3 linked hearts. What is that supposed to mean? Touch the 3 linked hearts. And then the question says, which buttons do you press? So there are 4 hearts on the screen. They're all connected. They're only, sorry, there's more than 4. There's 4 red and 4 black. I suppose the 3 linked ones are, no. What is that supposed to mean? Touch the 3 linked hearts. Which buttons do you press to unlock the phone? The 3 linked hearts. There's 4 red hearts. There's 4 black hearts. So what does it mean to have a linked heart? Any thoughts from the channel? Three linked hearts, huh? No, that doesn't make any sense. Does it? I was trying to think if we could say, the three hearts that are similar in some way, maybe by asking what they're connected to. Like you've got a heart with a diamond and a club on one side. No more of those. You've got a heart with a diamond and a club. So here's a heart with a diamond and a club connected to it. Here's a heart with a diamond and a club connected to it. But that's it. Here's a heart with a heart and a club connected to it. Here's a heart with a diamond and a heart at right angle. Here's a heart with a diamond and a heart at right angle. Here's a heart with a diamond and a heart at right angle. Heart, diamond, and heart. Heart, diamond, and heart. Heart, diamond, and heart. Heart, diamond, and heart. Is that too many? Heart, diamond, and heart. Heart, diamond, and heart. Heart, diamond, and heart. Heart, diamond, and heart. That's four. That doesn't work. Um, we've got 4 red and 4 black. And we think it's going to be 3 of those. Let's look at what the hint for this is. 36 blue. 36 blue says black, red, black. Black, red, black. Does that mean that our 3 hearts are a black heart, a red heart, and a black heart? Okay, I'm going to read the chat, and I'm going to, whatever I do, I'm not going to get upset. I'm just going to read it, and I'm not going to get angry. Maybe it's the 3 hearts linked, 1 black diamond, black heart, red heart. Don't know what that means. So then it's the lower right corner, 1 heart upside down. The black spade is an upside down heart, red heart, and black heart. So you think these are the 3 connected hearts. And we're just going to pretend that spade is not a heart. You must hit these 3 symbols. The symbol of the spades actually hides a symbol of hearts. That is absolutely insanity. Look, if you came to me with this puzzle and you said, when I tell them to connect 3 connected hearts, I want them to click this spade, I'd say, okay, look, that's a terrible puzzle. But if you made some pact with the devil that that's going to be the solution to your puzzle, you have to go back and modify the rest of these symbols so that some are rotated and some have things sticking out of them. Otherwise, I would quit before I let this get published with my name on the box. All right, so we got that one right, apparently. Let's take a break before we come back and put an end to this nightmare. All right, we're back playing Deckscape, a game that I hope we do not have to play again. But look at this cat. Look at this cat. What do you think about that crocodile, Sarah? You're trying to throw it in the trash? All right, so the next card that we've got wants us to physically assemble a tent. Night is coming. It's time to go to sleep. You have to build a shelter. Take the cards you've already read. Try to build a tent with 2, 7, or 15 cards. Go on, Sarah. Build a tent. So if you think I'm going to sit here for an hour and no, and build that tent, you've got another thing coming. All right, but let's build a crocodile tent that's one high. Okay, so there's our one high. Let's see what we get for that. So if it's one high, nothing happens. So if we had built 3 floors, we would have erased an X. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Don't care. Here we go. The morning after, as soon as the sun rises, you start exploring. Along the river, you spot some natives. Do you want to approach them and ask for help, or do you prefer to stay hidden? Now, what we know from our survival manual is many different tribes. It's rare to meet someone. Blue feathers are friendly. There are no reports of interactions with other tribes. So, we don't know anything about this tribe. They're not the blue feathers. So I guess we're going to stay hidden. Do we have any clue that they might be? We do have a clue. What's the clue we have? Do you remember? All right, this is the first moment in this game that I have had a little bit of respect for. What is the clue we have? I'll show you. See if you can remember it before I show you. That's the clue. I think this tribe is the tribe that hunts with these green feathered arrows. Hand-thrown spears. And they've killed another adventurer. So, I think we stay hidden. It's better to stay hidden. Look at that. These natives with green feathers are aggressive. You might have guessed it with your instincts. But this is also explained in the survival manual. Moreover, you could figure this out by looking at the arrow that hit the explorer in card 44, which is what I just showed you. If your answer is wrong, mark a Z or discard the machete. Okay, so finally we got one card in this game that I was not unhappy with. A daring escape. One of the natives with green feathers notices you and shouts something to his mates. Is that what happened? If your answer is wrong... I guess we still have to read this. One of the natives notices you shout something to his mates. The others start chasing you. They're fast and you have no choice. The only way to survive is to dive down the waterfall. You fall into the water with a splash and begin to swim toward the shore before the current carries you away. The natives are still throwing arrows, but now you're too far to be a valid target. Okay, so just a little bit of story there. The dive was successful. Unfortunately, you didn't get hurt, but choose a player and give them this card. The player must flip this card and read it in secret without showing it to the others. Okay, well, there's only one of us here. Someone guesses the word crocodile. If you're playing by yourself, you swim rapidly away. You're not attacked by the beast, but you cannot rest. I see. Okay. When the others guess or give up, proceed to the next round. Okay. You're wet and you seek shelter among the vegetation. In the bushes, you find a very solid suitcase. Maybe another explorer lost it. What is the 3-digit code to open it? Now, if I encounter this totally on our own, I might wonder if we had enough to solve it. But the fact that of where we are, having to know that we could solve the drums makes me think the compass is in here. Okay, so there's our symbol again. That's going to turn out to be the symbol of some explorer or whatever. So it's already turned to 593. And what are we looking at here? Okay, so rather than try to solve it for a second, let's just notice some interesting things here. The Spamonite already sees the solution. Okay, I don't see it yet, but I do notice there are 8s all the way down the middle. Eights already down the middle. All down the middle are 8. What does that mean? Oh, let's look at this for a second because it's interesting. It's an interesting meta puzzle in terms of the fact that it's a 3-digit code, and here we have this grid that is what? 6 rows by, it looks like maybe 11 columns. 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 by 11 columns. So what does that mean? How are we going to get 3 digits out of this? The center looks like it could be an 8, but you can't very well use the next column as the first and third digit because those columns are not lining up on that. But surely all those 8s are a huge clue. Okay, I see. Okay. So the 8s are the ones that jump out, but if you look down here, you see 3s all in a column, and here are 2s all in a column. So 3, 8, 2. I didn't hate that one. If it's wrong, you mark as Z. Okay, well, it's not wrong. You managed to open it, but it's empty. However, by shaking the suitcase, you can hear a noise. There's something hidden inside of it. Perhaps it has a false bottom. And then there's this symbol. Look through the cards you've already read so far. Find the symbol above, then flip this card. It's a little annoying. It wants us to find where we've already seen that symbol. I don't like this. This is just annoying. Sometimes you know where we've seen some symbols at the tops of some of these cards? Like here. It's a clown face. Oh no, I guess they're all the same. Does anyone remember where he's seen that? These are all cards we've seen before and lost. I mean, well, this seems silly. It's not on that cave there. It's not this, right? It looks a little like this, but I guess it's not. And it explicitly says card. Where have we seen that card? Okay, well, I mean, I see it here. I don't know. I don't understand why that's a. Alright, whatever. Is that really what the answer is going to be? Yes, it is. Okay, so that gives us the compass. With that, we could try to answer the puzzle that made no sense to us about what drums. So with a compass, we can see that this is a circle with a dot in the center. And so where do we think you put this? Here. And you don't center it on the bird. Unless you're centering on this bird. That's what it is. Okay. So you're centering on this bird. You're doing this, and then I guess you're spinning it and saying you hit this guy. And then you hit this guy. And then you hit this guy. Okay, so crocodile, the wizard, and the man facing left with feathers. Crocodile, wizard, man facing left with feathers. Okay, so once we hit the, that's a shame that, well, all right, let's not, we'll get into it. The fact that this, well, we were supposed to know that we couldn't solve this. Okay, if your answer is wrong, mark Z. If you do not have the views in the compass, mark an additional Z and try flip it over to try again. Okay, so we could have penalized ourselves. I suppose I will penalize us with a Z for not having, for having tried to answer it when we couldn't. So I've given us an extra Z on there. That was supposed to be given to us the first time we tried it. Okay, I guess we're going to keep our compass and go to the next card. So here's what we have left. A small stack of blue and a main stack of yellow. We don't know enough to do that, but we have made it to the entrance of El Dorado with the Aztec calendar in front of us. At the sound of the three drums, a powerful earthquake shakes the mountain and the stone door glows in gold. Which two symbols must you press to open the door? All right. So we either have to answer this one or this one. We have seen some of that. Which two symbols must you press to open the door? Presumably symbols around the outside. I want you to notice that they are symmetric, going from here to here to here. Like this is symmetric with this. This newt is symmetric with this newt. This snake is symmetric with this snake. Skull, skull. And this one isn't symmetric. This one isn't symmetric. So I think it's these two. It's absolutely true that this cloud we did find on the back of the map. I must look closely at both the volcano and the spirit who lives on the earth and the sky and this map. But let me do this one. Let me push the two non-symmetric ones. Yes. You must press these two spots. They're the only images depicted on the door without a mirror image. They conceal the opening mechanism. Jasir seems nervous and prefers to return to the village, so we're getting rid of him. He's not coming with us anymore. He goes home, but we did get this right, so we can move along. All right, this is exciting. We're inside the volcano. It's absolutely dark in here, just a few steps away from the sunlight, and you are surrounded by complete darkness. How can you shine some light? Is this where we can use the crocodile plate? Yes, because we know that these are the bowls of tobacco that can be lit. So I think even though these plates, I don't even know what they're made of and how they work, but surely we're going to bounce the sun and light the tobacco. Oh, okay, I see. It wanted us to use binoculars. Okay, that's good enough. I'm giving us credit for spotting the tobacco that we could light on fire. You can climb up the pillars to take the dried tobacco bowls. Using the lens of your binoculars to focus the rays of the sun on them, you can burn the tobacco to make some fire, which illuminates the cave. The resulting light will allow you to see through the dark. If your answer is correct, erase a Z. Okay, I'm going to count that as correct and get rid of one of our Z's. Debatable, but I'm going to do it anyway. All right, the dangling pillars. Jumping on 3 of the 9 pillars, you can reach the door on the other side. However, jump on the wrong pillar and you'll fall down. Which 3 pillars are safe to jump on? Well, I mean, you can see something is happening here. Right, like the empty space carved out here is a pentagon here. And then you can see this empty space, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, is, doesn't look like a hexagon though, it looks like this. So this one, I guess, is this one. This one is the pentagram. And do we have another one created by the empty space? here, square. Square, pentagram, star. Square, pentagram, star. Next, the seal on the door. You jump from pillar to pillar, finally reach the door. It's blocked by a strange seal. You simply remove it, and the door slowly opens. Flip this card to look at the seal. Keep it. It may be useful. So there's our symbols again. And here is the seal, whatever it is supposed to be. Okay. Moving walls. You enter the room, the door closes behind you. There are 3 fixed golden pillars. Suddenly, the side walls start to move toward the center. It's impossible to climb them. You'll be crushed. Where do you go to stay safe? So this is a little bit of a spatial puzzle. You can see that this one is going to go in here, and then the gold gets pushed to here. So that gets us crushed. However, if this doesn't move, then this space would be safe. But if it pushes this in, it wouldn't be. Okay, what about here? This goes 1, 2, and slams into that. This goes 1, 2, this goes 1. Both of these get killed. This one. It looks like it sort of depends on whether the pillars get pushed. And if this goes in here, this gets pushed. But this one, this goes 1, 2, and settles into here. Feels like that would be safe. I guess these are all going 1, 2. Okay, the gold pillars aren't moving, but this is going 2 to the right, and this is going 1 to the left. Okay, so 2 to the right, 1 to the left closes this up. 2 to the left, 1 to the right closes these up. 2 to the left, 1 to the right closes these up. 2 to the left, 1 to the right closes that row up. 2 to the left, 1 to the right closes this row up. 2 to the left, 1 to the right closes that up. But 2 to the left goes here. And then 1 to the right still gives us a gap here. So I think this is safe. So this gets closed. This gets closed. That gets closed. That gets closed. That gets closed. That gets closed. I think this is safe right here. That's my final answer. You can retreat to this small space. On that spot, the 2 walls do not collide, so there's a niche in which you will be safe. After all, the room is a defense system, not a torture room. After a while, the floor beneath you opens and you fall down. Okay, if the answer is wrong, but it wasn't, so we're fine. Okay, now we're playing the ball game. To exit, you have to drop the ball in one of the 3 rings in the upper right corner. Start from the bottom left center. Bottom left center. All right. Oh, bottom left corner. Okay, bottom left corner where this person is. At every move, you must go straight horizontally or vertically by as many tiles as the number of dots printed on the tile. In which ring can you drop the ball? Okay, so we just got to do this, but what's the idea? You pick a direction, you go that many tiles, the dots. So we're here. We could go, we're surely going right 1, and then we can either go right 3 or up 3. Let's go up 3. 1, 2, 3, and then we can't do it. 1, so it can't be that. So we have to go right 3. 1, 2, 3. Then surely we're going up 2. And then we're going up 2. Then we're going left 3. 1, 2, 3. Then we're going right 2. And then we're stuck. Okay, what if we go down 2? And then up 3. 1, 2, 3. Then right 1. And then left 1, 2, 3. So it's this one here is what I say. The far left ring. Okay. You drop the ball only into the left ring. Figures show in order the minimum number of moves required to reach it. Okay, we didn't get that wrong, so we're fine. All right, it's just puzzle after little puzzle here at the end. You walk into another room. I guess it makes sense. We're in this Indiana Jones little puzzle thing. You walk into another room, and again, the door closes behind you. It's a trap. There are 6 cylinders, 2 meters high. They rotate randomly and will soon start to shoot hundreds of arrows parallel to the ground at all heights. Where do you find cover from the arrows? They shoot hundreds of arrows parallel to the ground at all heights. Interesting. So, are we to take it that these lines tell us where they go, and so that we should assume that here no arrow is coming this way? Or are we just assuming that the lines are... I think if the lines were arbitrary, there would be no safe place. Like, it's not radiating in 360 degrees. It's actually where these lines are. So there is a little bit of a space here. And if you're here, hugging this wall, there's no line coming straight down at you here. Feels like that would be safe right next to this guy. But it seems like this wants you to sort of draw the lines in this whole place to find out, like put tracing paper and draw every line. Zip, 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 zip. Well, it's pretty weird. Like this one would go... I mean, I can't say I really like this, but maybe it would be fun if you did tracing paper and traced it all on here. But it seems like what you'd be looking for is just something to shield you. All right, what's happening? The only safe spot is above a cylinder. Okay. So it's telling us the cylinders are 2 meters high, like 7 feet up. They rotate randomly. Okay, it does say they would rotate randomly. I don't know what to do. I guess I'm going to penalize us here for being tired of this and not trying to think outside the box. So I'm going to give us a little wound for this. We'll just run out of energy for this game. Okay, we're in the baths now. You enter a room where there's a locked door and a sort of small bath. An inscription says, "Dip the face of a monkey in the water to continue." All of you try to soak your own faces, but nothing happens. What do you do? Dip the face of the monkey. Do you think this is the monkey's face? It kind of looks like a monkey's face, but I don't know what else we would do. We got these crocodile plates. The face of a monkey. Any ideas here? The face of a monkey. I mean, key. We've got the word key there. A monkey. Monkey. The face of a monkey. The face of a monkey. I mean, I don't want to sit here for an hour guessing it's the seal, which kind of looks like a monkey, but I mean, is it? Does it? Am I just talking myself into it? Does this look like a monkey in some way? Anyone? Any thoughts? It's just me. I'm all alone here. I'm going to put the seal in it. I see. It was the seal. Halfway makes a monkey. All right. A bluish light, so we got that right. A bluish light fills the room, gives you a sense of peace. An ancient mechanism recognizes the face and the door opens. You walk into a long corridor made of solid steel. If your answer is correct, discard poison or curse if you have one. That's like the 4th time we've been able to cure poison or curse. For some reason, it doesn't cure a Z. The treasure chamber portal. The end of the corridor, there's a sealed golden door. There's a slot on the left side and some crocodile statues. In order to open the door, how do you assemble the plates before inserting them into the left slot? So we have a green plate and a red plate. And it says, how do you assemble the plates? So this is the treasure chamber. That little symbol on the door matches this. White crocodile. The door features this symbol, which means white crocodile. How do you assemble the plates before inserting them? All right, so here are our crocodile plates. This is just where we got it. I do see that there's sort of like a carve out here. Like if we assemble it this way, it's kind of like a key. Kind of. So I guess I would stick it in left this way, or this way, because it sort of looks like a key. Is there a reason to prefer one way or the other? Well, I'm gonna put them in like this. You must insert the two plates placed side by side. That way they form a white crocodile. So I guess what it wanted was this, and this is the white crocodile. Do both of these fit in side by side? There's no way to tell from the scale of it. I wouldn't have guessed it, but apparently so. The survival mentioned that you need a white crocodile. Well, we certainly read the part about the white crocodile. We just didn't quite get that this is going to be good enough to be a white crocodile. If the answer is wrong, mark as Z. I guess I'm going to consider that answer wrong, which gets us another Z. Run for your life. You push the plates into the slot and the door opens. A mechanism makes a suspension bridge appear over the lava. As you step on it, the volcano begins to rumble. You must find a safe spot before a jet of lava explodes. Under which of the three petroglyphs do you stop? So, run for your life. There's three petroglyphs. I'm not sure what a petroglyph is. It seems like it's a picture of a dinosaur, maybe. Okay. I mean, there's our bird. I'd be inclined to just go under the bird, but couldn't tell you why. Other than we saw the bird and the volcano. Seems like the bird is the volcano's friend. A petroglyph is just a symbol carved in stone. Any thoughts on which of these three, if not just the bird, because we saw the bird on the volcano? Surely that's it. Nope. The safest place is below the central glyph at the center of the bridge. The missing head of the second statue has been fired due to a previous jet and hit your airplane. It looks like another head could also become a stone bullet. So it's better to stay in the center where there are no statues. Okay, I guess that's a wrong answer, which gives us a second wound because we've already got two Z's and we're at another one. So instead we mark another wound. Well, here we are at the treasure chamber. Finally, you enter the treasure chamber while everything seems on the verge of collapse. These treasures will be destroyed forever. They weigh too much. You cannot take them all with you. Choose 2 treasures to take, then flip this card. All right, well, we have been noting these symbols, and we've been noting which one we like and which one we don't, and which one means danger. The 2 dots and 3 lines look like, well, where's the bridge? The bridge was the definitive one. And there was this. No, not that one. There was this one. 2 dots, 3 lines. And then the real definitive one is going to take a half hour to find. Two dots, 3 lines, 2 dots, 3 lines. So I guess here we should take 2 dots, 3 lines. 2 treasures to take. Okay, so I'm going to take the 2 dots, 3 lines one. Nope. So we did look at this. I guess I had a long talk about this. This one hurts to get wrong because I had a long talk about how this seemed to mean danger. 2 dots, 3 lines seemed to mean danger. Oh, I suppose I got this one wrong when I revisited it. 3 dots. Okay, well that's kind of sad that I got so tired here that I just skipped over this. All right, well, we did seem to mention that one of them meant danger. Okay, proceed to the next card. If you took the crocodile mask and the golden plate, flip this card and read the ending of the story. Okay, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to pretend we got this one. If you've taken neither the crocodile mask nor the golden plate, flip this card and read the finale. Finale B, the volcano begins to rumble, but instead of erupting lava, it takes off into the sky. You find yourself in the clouds and finally understand who the people of the sky adored by the natives are. The Temple of El Dorado is a gigantic alien spaceship made of solid gold. You fly to your house with this precious ship. You're now the richest and most famous explorers in the world, and you start a foundation that will save the Amazon rainforest. Take the score sheet, erase an X, and an additional X for each chosen treasure. Now count how many minutes it took you to complete, which is 3 hours. Add 5 minutes for each X. So, basically, we didn't get that good score. And if we had taken these, I guess these, it's just the scoring is exactly the same, but the story is different. You've caused the end of El Dorado, and a terrible curse falls upon you. I guess this is what really happened to us. You wander across the jungle for months until a helicopter sees your campfire and finally rescues you. Once you return to the civilized world, in spite of your findings, no one believes your story. So that's the end. Here are more Deckscapes. To reset the game, you erase the X's that you wrote on this card. There were 2 piles that we never finished. Let's just look at these for a second before I start to complain about this game. So this one, only if we had the binoculars. We did get the binoculars, so we could have gone back to this. So this is a little this was just a different way to get us to focus on using the compass. And then here, how were we supposed to know this? Did we learn about these at some point? What does she say? You come sky. To understand this, you must read a hint. Jasir is clearly part of the Blue Feathers tribe. He's the only one who speaks both your language and theirs. So there was no way to solve this puzzle. You would have just had to say, okay, well, I give up. Let me ask the guy who's part of this tribe to translate it. And he would translate it for you. And then they bring you into a hut. There's plenty of food, comfortable bed, and the low-cut dressed chief wants to go in the bed with you. Sleep, be medicated, or drink a magic potion. Okay, you could just medicate me now. Get rid of a poison. The chief tells you about the prophecy of El Dorado. Jasir acts as interpreter. The holy city was built by people of the sky to give fortune and prosperity to the tribe of their forefathers. The sacred city exists, but it is hidden in an unknown place. There's only one way to get to El Dorado. Capture the spirit who lives in the earth and sky. Shortly before dawn, they guide you through the heart of the forest in order to hunt this spirit. The spirit who lives in the sky. The key to El Dorado. Which of these animals is the spirit who lives in the sky? I thought this was going to be the UFO or something. Does anyone... Built by people of the sky, the sacred city exists. Capture the spirit who lives in the earth and sky. What creature lives in the earth and the sky? That little bird? Butterfly is the spirit who lives on earth and sky. As a caterpillar lives on the earth, then it becomes a butterfly. The map shows a rough drawing of a butterfly. I guess that's what this is supposed to be. Then you get the butterfly. Keep this card and flip it once you have binoculars, which shows you the other 2 places on the map, I guess, with the compass. Well, it's over. It's done. Let's take a 5-minute break. We'll come back. I'll give you my thoughts on this game. You can give me your thoughts. All right, we're back. We've just finished playing Deckscape, the search for El Dorado, the mystery of El Dorado. We've been playing for 3.5 hours. I have to say I did not have a good time. I really didn't. Now, sometimes you just get off on the wrong wavelength of a game, and it sort of spirals out of control. I can see from some of the people who played along with me that they played a bunch of these Deckscapes and says some they're hit and miss. El Dorado was not one of their favorites. But I don't think I'm going to be playing another one of these. I don't think I have it in me. It was not all bad. It wasn't a terrible experience. There were some reasonable puzzles. There were some... Mechanically, it was an interesting... a little experiment with doing some different things. Each card was basically a standalone puzzle with a free-form answer. You just answer a question like, how should we avoid this trap? And you just verbalize what you think your answer is, and then you flip it over and you read, and if you got it wrong, you get a little bit of a penalty. It's an interesting idea. Most of the escape room small games are much more mechanically locked in to a very specific way of checking your answer. You're either searching through for a specific numbered card to see what happens. So this was an interesting idea, and it does give them a little bit of flexibility, but it led to quite a few moments where it was not clear what kind of answer it wanted, where there were ambiguous answers. It felt like you could answer multiple different ways. There was another interesting little mechanical approach where it basically had you occasionally separate the cards into colored piles and then said you could go down any of these paths in whatever order, like different branches to solve puzzles. It's kind of a cool idea, but then one of the key mechanics of the game is that you're going to get to puzzles that you can't solve yet because you need to go down a different branch and get the answer to do that puzzle. But there were a bunch of times when it felt like we really had no good way of knowing that we had enough information to go down a branch or we didn't. And especially when those bottlenecks were puzzles that felt totally ambiguous. It felt like there should be a solution to this puzzle, but really the game wanted you to just make this leap of logic, leap of faith that wasn't well founded. And I think for me, those were the moments that were especially painful. There was also a little bit of using items to do things, and I also felt like it's a fun idea to make this an adventure game where there's some use of objects, but in the games we've seen that make that work, it's like a classic text adventure where you get an object and you're like, oh my god, I know what we should do. we should use the clay to form the hole, then the key, and then we'll make a copy of the key. In this game, it was like, okay, now you have to go through this forest. Try to go through the forest. And you flip over the card and it says, hey, if you have the machete, then you do get through the forest. If you don't, then a lion comes out and bites you. It's like, okay, I didn't have to figure out to use it. I didn't have to figure out a clever way to use it. It's just that I happen to have it. So I happen to have this item. I get to see this thing. If not, I don't. There were some ridiculously convoluted puzzles with this fold-out map. A pretty looking map, but a ridiculous puzzle. And a couple of really bad puzzles. Lots of puzzles, lots of content, but some very bad puzzles. I would much, much rather have a smaller number of better puzzles. Story was okay. All right, so basically I'm never going to play another Deckscape again. That was not pleasant experience, not on my wavelength. Dorp says that he's played some of these that he liked. And it says, I played with my friend last summer and it was fun. We laughed a lot and we did well, but I can see how it could be a bad experience for someone. In my experience, these Deckscape games are best played with friends and family just for a bit of fun. Can't really be taken seriously. Well, I think that's a reasonable take. I tend to play these games as seriously as I can. And maybe that's a good explanation for why some of these fail for me. Maybe Anna is right that for this game, it's more like enjoying how things go wrong. And maybe not for people who take it too seriously. Well, I didn't like it. What can I tell you? There were a couple moments that weren't so bad, but by the time we got to the end, I was on tilt and burned out. All right, well, any more thoughts from the channel? Dorp liked the series, says Dracula's Castle and the Pharaoh one were good. I'm generally a fan of Deckscape. Any other thoughts on Deckscape in general and the Mystery of El Dorado specifically? Final verdict, a few cards short of a full deck. Now I've got 4 more boxes of Deckscapes that I don't dare try to play. If there are no further comments, we'll sign off then. All right, I'll see you all next time.